Now this map here shows the timescales of where people moved around the planet. Now, that's fine, except you just have to disregard them travelling across the oceans like that. Now there's two types of people that we're talking about at the moment. There is the Anunnakis created the human hybrids, which were in Africa. Then you've got the Anunnaki that had relationships with those and created their offspring. So now you've got two offsprings. Now when the Anunnaki moved people around, both of those other two ended up breeding with each other. So now you've got technically three different races. Now the ones that there were slaves that the Anunnaki had created pretty much were slaves and ended up being slaves all around the places that they needed to take them to. The ones that, for want of a better word, that were smarter, only possibly because the Anunnaki decided to teach them, because they were the offspring of the Anunnaki. The offspring of the Anunnaki were more European, shall we say, and that's where they ended up staying, which is why you have Mesopotamia, so it's sort of like the Middle East area. Then you've got their offspring between them and the people that was in the Abzu, and they travelled further because they weren't sought after by the Anunnaki. In other words, the Anunnaki kind of looked after their own offspring from humans and the ones that they'd created 300,000 years ago. But their offspring, between the two human types, they ended up travelling off, which is, we can see that in not only these maps, but we can actually see that in different skeletons, where we've got different types of European people back then, which gives the reason why this map's got a different coloured chart. So this all makes more sense than people travelling on boats around the world. Now this is where it starts getting a bit tricky. So the people from India, I personally think that they were offspring of the Anunnaki's offspring and the humans that were created 300,000 years ago. So now you've got a different type of human on this planet, an extra one. And then those type also then bred back with the offspring of the Anunnaki, and so on. And this is how we ended up with this diverse population. Now mainstream actually say that the people from India actually migrated from Africa, which would make sense, along with my lines there, that all these now different types of breeding went on, and they ended up settling in that sort of area there. Now the mainstream tells you where Chinese people come from, and I'll talk about that in the next video. We need to look at where all the different types of humans come from. So the first human was, and we'll call them A, and that was created by the DNA of the Anunnaki and Neanderthals to make number A. B, which is the second lot of humans, were the Anunnaki having relationships with A, which created B. A third humans, we'll call C, was actually now A and B having relationships together to create C. And fourth was D, which was A, which was the first humans again, and Neanderthals and other types of hominids at the time. So as you can see now, we're getting different colour skins, etc. So then there's Neanderthals and the Denisovans, I probably pronounced wrong, which created the unknown humans, which mainstream admit that there is humans that was unknown. So then you've got F, which is unknown plus A, and then you've got unknown plus B, unknown. Where did the Chinese people come from? Now, there's a theory that they came from Mars. They were indigenous to Mars, and they left Mars when Mars was having attacks by whoever it was that was attacking them. But I kind of go along more with the mainstream, which say that after studies, 97.4% of the genetic makeup is from the ancestral modern humans. That's the people I was talking about that would have been the slaves in the Abzu. So watch my other videos if you have no idea what I'm on about. Plus, so modern humans, plus they're also mixed with Neanderthals and I can't pronounce that. But so watch my last video. It explains how they all are mixed together, which creates all these different races that we've got. Some of my videos are now being pulled off of off of TikTok before they've even been released, so go to YouTube, subscribe, they'll be on.